Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Welcome everybody to the September 10th meeting of the Rhinbeck Village Board. First item on the agenda is our County Legislator, Joel Tyner.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
You're welcome.
Have a hand there. The county executive and I don't agree always, every day on all the issues, but I do want to give County Executive Molinaro credit where credit is due. For the second year in a row, he's agreed to have a county online budget survey, and it's pretty easy. If you go to duchessny.gov, the official website for Dutchess County government, you can get to the online county budget survey. It's something I've been pushing for the last 4 years. It was launched last year. It's happening again this year. The 25 of us in the legislature plus the county executive, we exercise no monopoly on wisdom. We're just ordinary people, so we're looking for your help. I mean, I try to push different ways to close the deficit. We are dealing with a $27 million budget deficit. I pointed out a lot of different ways we could reform the criminal justice system, but also wanted to, that invitation there, the first, Lucille Patterson was one of the best county executives ever in the state and the country. And so I'm doing what I can to sort of preserve, I don't want to say restore her legacy, but a lot of what she did has been lost in county government over the last couple decades. So I'm inviting you all to a forum just across the street. That's Monday, September 30th at 5:30 p.m., Rhinbeck Town Hall. We had a Human Rights Commission under Lucille Patterson. We had an Office of, I believe, Consumer Affairs. The mental health care system hadn't been privatized and destroyed to the point where, folks in Rhinbeck are justifiably and understandably consternated about what's been happening at 47 West Market Street because of the privatization. And 14 years ago, Lucille and I launched a drive to end pay-to-play in Dutchess County, pushing for campaign finance reform on a local level, a $100 limit on campaign contributions from companies who get big county contracts. Poughkeepsie Journal, after Lucille and I started this in '99, did 2 editorials for this. Even the Republicans who control the Orange County legislature looks like they're about to pass a similar law. It's been in place in Rockland County for 15 years. So all this stuff we're talking about, Monday, September 30th, 5:30, Rhinbeck Town Hall, right across the way. You're all invited. There's a lot of things there. I'm sorry. There are a lot. There is a lot. There are many things that were on the agenda for the full board meeting for the county legislature last night. You can see this is our binder, has all the stuff we talked about. Unfortunately, there were 3 things that really should have been on the agenda for the full board meeting last night, and actually last Wednesday's committee day. The campaign finance reform law that I've been talking about, that Lucille Patterson and I started to push on in '99, it's not even being allowed on the agenda for committee day. Even though the Rockland County legislature passed this in '98, even though the Poughkeepsie Journal's editorialized for it, even though the Republicans who control the Orange County legislature are about to pass it. So I'm one person out of 25 in the county legislature. There are about 300,000 people in Dutchess County. If you folks want to end pay-to-play in Dutchess County, it's not every big contract is linked to a big donation. It's not. I'm not going to stand here and tell you, but I'm telling you it happens more often than you would think. And it's a lot of the same companies involved. I'm the one person in Dutchess County who's been documenting the links between the fat county contracts and the large donations for the last 20 years. And in a lot of cases, it's the same folks. The Poughkeepsie Journal and the Daily Freeman have done editorials about the well testing legislation, like Rockland and Westchester, and the neighbor notification for pesticide applications. 75% of people in New York State have this. Ulster County, not even allowed onto the agenda for committee day. These are big, huge issues that in the past we can talk about them, and we're not even allowed to bring it up, let alone the full board meeting of the legislature, not even allowed onto the agenda for committee day. So I'm sort of a voice crying in the wilderness, or just relating to you what's going on the 6th floor of 22 Market Street, and it's not particularly democracy. I know that this issue may come up on the 19th. I do not live in the village of Rhinbeck, okay? But I went to high school here. There are some folks in the room who I went to high school with. I'm just asking for the folks in this room to do what they can to make sure. I'm not trying to cut down all economic development, but just personally speaking, the 46 trees there at the hospital, I'm just asking for those to stay. And there seems to be some other properties right around there where those trees, I don't know why they should be put on the chopping block, okay? There's got to be some solution where those trees don't have to be cut down. I just thought I'd make that pitch. And
Joel, what I would say to that is you need to make those comments at the planning board level.
okay. And well, I know you guys are the movers and shakers. The other thing is I would never try to step on your toes as a mayor, because I know you've been dealing quite a bit over the last few months with the 47 West Market Street property. My intention with trying to get a resolution passed, to try to get Ken Glatt here, the Dutchess County Commissioner of the Mental Hygiene, is because I just don't want to be accused of looking the other way. I mean, I raised a ruckus when they tried to privatize that, to try to warn people. And then sort of, nobody likes somebody who stands before you and says, I told you so, but I told you so. I mean, I knew it was going to be a chamber of horrors. Because there's a real lack of accountability, as everybody in this room knows, when the county pulled out. And there's no more county white vans, bringing people there. There's the PROS model, which is different from what they had before, and they did not really come into the community and work with you guys. So I just wanted to let you know that. I'm at 876-2488, 453-2105. Thank you. I got to run to Clinton Town Hall and for their town board meeting. Thank you.
Thanks, Joel. Okay, next item on the agenda is discussion about 47 West Market Street. Just so everybody's aware, currently the Village of Rhinbeck does not have a zoning enforcement officer. Mr. Fennell submitted his resignation, and we have posted the position and have received applications. The deadline for submission was today. So the board will now have to go through a process of screening those applications and interviewing candidates to hire a new zoning enforcement officer. So basically, in the meantime, we have been working and consulting with Mr. Olson to find out legally what we are able to do and not able to do. Before Mr. Fennell had resigned, he had sent a letter to the property owner, Mr. Kalinagi, the owner of 47 West Market Street, with an order to cease and desist. We have since received a letter from Mr. Martin, who is Mr. Kalinagi's attorney, and they have asked us to grant an extension while they can ascertain some more facts and then go through a zoning process. Basically, what Mr. Olson has advised me is they have a right to appeal Mr. Fennell's decision. So at this point, we have to respond to them, let them know that that's what their right is to appeal the decision, and then we go forward from there. I don't believe anybody is of the mindset that people shouldn't have mental health care. The issue we face here as a village board is that the way that business is operating, it's operating on a site plan that doesn't belong to the people that are there. It belongs to the county. The county no longer is the lessee of the building. The attorney for Mr. Kalinagi has maintained that they only have 2 tenants operating out of that facility. We know there's 3 organizations operating out of that facility. They all participated in meetings at Town Hall that Joel had hosted. So there's definitely some questions that need to be answered yet. And it's my opinion that at this time what we should do is grant them this extension and get the rest of the facts together. I have had discussions with Bill O'Neill, the Deputy County Executive, who is the liaison to the Mental Health Department, and asked him what the relationship with the county was, and he clearly stated that they fund those organizations. They provide them with money, but the county no longer operates the facility. I had suggested that perhaps everybody needed to come together and have a meeting, but there has not been any outreach back to me to have that meeting. So at this point, I think we need to do what we should do, and I believe it's in the village's best interest to grant this extension temporarily and have them go through this zoning process that they should. And basically, as I see it, they need to appeal it. The appeal can be denied. They need to request a variance, and that's the only way they can really operate,
Well,
correct?
it's an interpretation. there was an order issued by our then zoning enforcement officer on August 1st. He said to cease and desist by the 1st of September. Under the code, they have until October the 1st to appeal that decision. They have 60 days to appeal it. So in essence, we could notify Mr. Martin he should simply file his appeal in accordance with the code. And then he can go to the board, and the zoning board can make a decision based on the facts he wants to present.
Okay. Anybody have any questions, comments? Please come to the microphone.
Hi, and thank you for all of this, really. We really
Please
appreciate
state your
it.
name for the
Oh, my
record.
name's Miranda Perry. I live on Oak Street. When you're talking about this extension they're asking for, is that an extension beyond the appeal date that they're asking for?
I think he was asking for an extension of the cease and desist, and still by law, he has the right until October the 1st to appeal. So I think we should just notify him to follow the code and file his appeal timely.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Piper Woods. I manage 6422 and 6423 Montgomery Street. I'm sorry I wasn't able to go to the meeting that Joel had across the way. So I'm a little behind, I guess. What do they actually have to base, they're in violation of their site plan? And what
We have a
would,
site plan.
so they would need site plan and they would need a variance, a use variance, or?
No, the zoning enforcement officer has issued his determination that they are exceeding a non-conforming use. They have a right to appeal it, and I think that's where we should leave it at this point, because it's now up to the zoning board to make that decision.
Right.
Okay, so they would have to go to is that the ZBA?
The zoning board, correct.
Okay. Have there been, I mean, I have heard through the grapevine that there have been, issues and things like that with people. I mean, can you go over a little bit more of just some of the issues that have been occurring? I mean, I've only heard kind of through the grapevine. I mean, knock on wood, we haven't had any issues at our building. But I'm not always, obviously, my tenants don't always tell me every possible thing.
Well, there were some problems with some of the clients at the building wandering into people's yards, and there were some UPS packages that were opened up and merchandise taken, and people blocking the sidewalks and standing on the sidewalks and smoking, and some inappropriate language, et cetera.
Okay, okay.
Hi, I'm Kitty Gee. I live at 15 Oak Street. I'm the next door neighbor to 47 West Market Street. Maybe I can just elaborate a little bit on what your questions were. Just to give you a little, I know you were at the first mayor's forum, Joel Tyner's forum, Mayor, and you were at both of them, Mr. Sauer. But I'm just going to give you some information that we learned there that I found exceedingly disturbing. The clients are classified as having severe problems. They are mentally ill and they are substance abusers. The employees that work there also stated that they are understaffed. So when Mr. Jeff Martin wrote in a letter that they currently have 11 employees, I see probably 20 or more employee cars parked there, and they still feel understaffed.
Mayor, if I could, I would really prefer that if we're going to go through the procedures with the zoning board, that we have all
Then
evidence
save
at
all
the
this for
zoning
that?
board hearing.
Okay.
It'll be presented by the applicant, his appeal of the order, and everyone will get notice, and it'll be a public hearing, and then the
If I
zoning
could
board
just
will
say
make a
one more
decision.
thing to this board then. This is a substantial safety risk. And I know we have to go through a legal process, but I feel like there's been numerous delays, time extensions given to Mr. Martin to even respond to the 9 questions that were posed by the ZEO back on May 16th. It's been 4 months since we saw you guys May 14th, and we're still waiting. And you can move an ashtray can to the back by the gazebo, but this substantial safety risk exists. We are
We in a position where this board has no ruling on the
Yeah,
code. The
we're
code
just-
is the code. They need to go through a zoning board process.
Okay.
And the zoning board will make the determination whether that facility can operate based on the facts that are presented by Mr. Martin and by you folks at a public hearing.
Right. You just need to understand how frustrated we are.
Believe me, you need to understand how frustrated we are.
It is so, I live right next door. I've never, ever, I've lived next door to a
One thing I can
mentally
tell you-
challenged adults for 29 years, 30 years now,
One
and
thing
this
I
is
can tell you, in
atrocious.
6 years in government, the most frustrating thing is how slowly we move.
Yeah, it's very
Because I'm a person
frustrating.
that believes in making decisions, getting things done. Unfortunately, I don't have the power to just go ahead and say, we're going
Right.
to do this. We have to go
I
through the
understand all
process.
that. We are so very frustrated, all of us.
So are we. You know, the best thing that could have happened here was that the county had gotten everybody involved from the get-go, but that didn't happen.
My name is Kathleen Brzee. I live at 18 Oak Street. And I just have a concern, well, I have a concern about this whole thing, but is there any way that they could be forced to hire a security guard to be in that parking lot when those clients are not inside?
I can't answer that question.
I mean, my neighbor, Bill Wagger, who has lived on that street for close to 91 years, does not even want to go out on his scooter anymore and have to go by there. And that's a shame for that man who's lived on that street for that long and has never felt any fear. And now, because of this situation, he doesn't even want to go past his driveway. And that's just a sad situation for someone who has lived here this long, served in World War II, and he's afraid to go beyond his driveway. And that's a shame. That really is a shame. Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is just along with what the previous person said, and it's more just a question. Have you guys, since this all kind of started, I know you can't do anything with rezoning and everything, it has to go through the process, but have you somehow increased patrolling or
Yes.
or anything like that in that area? Yes, okay.
Yes,
Thank you.
that was done back in May. Anybody else?
Hi, Mike Gee, 15 Oak Street. I'm just concerned about this granting of an extension. I really would like to know a firm date based upon our village
We're
code.
not granting an extension.
You're not granting an
I just
extension.
said
Yeah, right
he has
to
to
appeal.
Is
appeal
it-
by October 1st, which is 60 days from the date of Mr. Fennell's order.
And then he has
He has that time to
62,
appeal to the
62,
zoning board of appeals. He must
Right.
file his appeal by then, or
And-
we would then seek to enforce the order.
okay, and there's not a 62-day time period after October 1st?
No.
No.
There's a 60-day time period
For
from the
him to-
date of Mr. Fennell's order
Okay,
in order to appeal that order.
and then it goes to
The
the,
zoning board of appeals.
it goes to the planning board for advisory opinion, or right
Goes
to the zoning?
zoning board of appeals for an interpretation.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Okay. Thank you for coming. Thank you for your comments. Department reports, wastewater, Brant.
Okay, for August, we had 4 million gallons of wastewater treated, 40,510 gallons of sludge processed, 4,427 pounds of sludge processed. We'd like to welcome Bill Maniero to the facility. He started employment 8/12/2013. And I have to open, or I want to open the sludge bids. And I've got bids for generator replacement too. We posted for the sludge cake removal, and we got 4 responses. And I'm just gonna open them here. This one is from Veolia Waters, our current sludge hauler.
Good, Jim, how you doing? This is always riveting, every year we do this.
Don't get any better than this.
I'm not gonna try to convert it from like 5 gallons like I did the first year. Okay, this is $126.27 per wet ton on specification volume of approximately 340 wet tons per year, which is what was projected usage was. This one is from Blue Diamond Septic. Let's see, I don't see the attachment. It says attached, find our quote. Oh, here it is, it's up top. $143 per ton of dry cake sludge. Okay. Sealed bid from SpectraServe.
Who is it?
From SpectraServe. $143 a ton.
Same as before, right?
Same as the one before. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the last one is Earth Care. Earth Care, $135 per ton. So again, the lowest apparent bidder is Veolia Water. So I'd like to make a motion that we approve Veolia, subject to department review. I would go over these with Anthony to make sure that,
You made a motion?
yeah.
Is there a second? Second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted.
The other big thing is that we have an antiquated and sometimes faulty emergency generator at the facility, and we have been putting money aside in our capital expenditure plan, and we budgeted for a replacement of this. So we have got 3 quotes to replace the generator. One of them, the lowest bid is from Gentech, $32,989.50. I don't know if I should read the other ones, because this is an RFP.
32 what?
32 what?
$32,989.50.
Do we have to?
It's under,
Not the public bid, right?
under 35,000, so it should be RFP. So I don't know if I should read the other ones, because it's an RFP instead of a public
I
bid.
mean, is that the lowest bid?
Yeah,
Well, that's the recommendation to the board.
Make the motion then.
okay, so I make a motion that we approve the Gentech proposal. They're from New Windsor. It's the Kohler 100 RE OZ JF generator. They're gonna pull out the old one and dispose of it and install the new one. It's a 100 kilowatt generator for $32,989.50.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion?
So if the power goes out, this will operate the whole wastewater?
It does, yeah, not the not the ultraviolet room, but most of the plant.
Is it run on propane?
No, it runs on number 2.
Fuel oil.
Oh, okay. Just questions.
Or diesel, which is the same thing pretty much.
Yeah.
You just said you put a new tank in there, right? 1,000-gallon tank?
Yeah,
So how long is it gonna last?
I don't know, because we got,
Do you mean the life expectancy of the
No,
generator?
the 1,000 gallons.
well, that was the whole idea, was to
Yeah.
beef up the capacity in case we have power
Right.
outage. We went from 500 gallon to 600, to 1,000 gallons, so I just don't recall,
Okay.
but,
Several days.
yeah.
Typically, the power's back on within 24 hours.
So it's budgeted. This is pretty much the tail end of that 5-year capital expenditure plan that we put together. After this, I'd like to look at my figures and see, or our figures, and see if we would be entitled to a rate reduction, but that's down the road a little bit.
Okay, any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? So voted. Anything else, Brent?
Let me check here. No, I don't think so. Oh, I wanted to tell Howie that we want to have we have a 1.5 cubic yard dumpster there for a weekly, which I think the street department knows about that. Because
Okay.
we're getting bids for waste.
There's one there already?
Yeah, but we're gonna, what we thought was we'd give it to the highway department, because we own it, the container, and just give the container to the highway department if they need it for anything.
What are they gonna do with their trash?
Well,
Well, if waste comes, or whoever our vendor is comes in and disposes of it.
No, I'm confused now. You
Well,
say
if
there's a
we- if we
1.5
use-
cubic foot one at the wastewater.
That's just
plant.
our usage requirements. But we own that container. I guess we're entertaining the idea of Waste Management coming in and leaving their containers for us. So
right,
we
well,
we have an
the
extra.
thing is now, the garbage truck now, our garbage truck, which we're gonna eventually be getting rid of, currently picks up your
Right.
waste. And it also does it here for the fire department, for this building. We have a one yard container for the fire, for this building here on the side over here. So, I was gonna talk about this during the highway,
Well, yeah, I
during the
figured-
highway thing.
I just wanted to
but,
let you know.
All right, well, we'll talk about it later.
Okay, coming up.
Okay, that's it, Brant?
That's it.
All right, Heinz Water?
We treated 14,930,000 gallons this this month, which includes about 500,000 gallons that we lost in the pipe break. The painting of the pipe gallery is just about completed. We have about another day and a half or so. If you ever want to go down there, it looks really, really nice. One of the things I found out in the last 2 weeks was that we have a door in the back of the building which has been leaking water for years and years and years, and I was always wondering why we had water sitting down in the pump area. And this time we had quite a downpour at night, and I came in the morning to look at it, and I saw the water dripping down actually almost into the 100 horsepower pumps there. So make things short, I went out and I got some bits to replace the door and the and the frame. The frame is totally corroded, has been corroded for 4 or 5 years, and the water is just coming in there. In addition to that, we have to do some grading, which the highway department, the street department is going to be doing, and we have to put a small retaining wall on the side of where the door opens, which I probably can do.
Make a motion for your
So I
recommendation.
want to purchase a replacement door and a frame for about $1,888.14. I had bids from, this is the lowest bids. The bids went as high as $3,600. I asked 7 people.
Okay,
3
we got a
didn't
motion.
respond.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So voted. Good.
The water distribution system, we replaced one of the 19th century vintage hydrants on Huntington and Violet Place. We replaced a 24-inch section of a 12-inch water main on River Road,
24 foot.
which is a 24-foot section of a 12-inch main. We lost about 500,000 gallons, or more, probably somewhat more than that. We have an action plan to mitigate a lot of the pulsing that happens when you turn on pumps and so on, and to get a more smooth working operation. We changed actually the last unmetered account in this village to a metered account. We added 18 new water accounts, 17 from the gardens alone. On the 23rd or the 24th, we are going to do some major work on Route 9 and in the intersection of Route 9 and Chestnut Street to replace a number of water valves that are broken. We need to replace them because we cannot shut them off. And we want to replace some of the hydrants and do other work. And we need to do that. We need to get control of our distribution system. As we hired a water department plant operator trainee. He's going to start this Friday. I may as well talk about the electric power reduction. It just takes a second here. In August, we consumed about 3,658 kilowatt hours, and we generated 3,115 kilowatt hours, saving about $498 in the process using our solar panels. Central Hudson informed me that they exchanged about 20% of the hydrogen, high-pressure hydrogen vapor lamps and with the sodium lamps, and I was told that there's going to be substantial amount being replaced in this coming month. So that is it for today, for this section.
Okay, thank you. Fire department.
Okay, I'll start with the call volumes for August. For EMS, we have 19 in the town, 19 in the village for a total of 38. Fire calls were 9 in the town, 10 in the village, total of 19. Motor vehicle accidents, we had 6 in the town, 2 in the village, and a total of 8. Total calls for the town were 34, the village 31, and a grand total of 65. Year-to-date, from January 1, we had 292 calls in the town, 240 in the village, and that doesn't add up, but 551 grand total. That's it for the call report. Other items, I know there's a question about our bandwidth use. There was a new restriction on January 1st of this year, and I'm told that we are fully compliant with that. We're working on 2 grants right now. The one would be the closure of the FEMA grant from 2013. I think the amount approved will be sufficient, but we're still waiting on the final feedback from FEMA on that to close it out. The grant's been closed.
2013 or 2003?
2003, sorry. So that one's pending closure, just waiting on the final amount. And then the 2013 grant actually may be for 2014, but they're working on it right now, putting together a package. The window isn't open yet, but trying to get to the point so when it does open, they'll be ready to go. In addition to that, working on analyzing the budget as it applies to the town budget to make sure that we, when we renegotiate that contract for the upcoming year, that we'll be up to speed on that. One last thing is we're looking at potentially a fleet management review. There's kind of a consulting agency that will review the fleet and tell you what you should have based on the population that we have here and the geography, and they put together a plan, replacement plan over the course of years. So as opposed to it being, I like the yellow truck, they will have some hard data to look at. There's also a second phase to that, which looks at the ISO ratings, which established insurance premiums for all the properties in the village, and then also the district as it pushes out to the town. So those are 2 proposals that they have, but I asked them to get a second or hopefully a third proposal. It seems there may be limited agencies that provide that kind of service, but we'll bring that forward next time, hopefully.
Okay.
That's about all I have.
All right, thanks.
Can I have that report?
Which report?
The list of what your calls were.
Yes.
Thank you.
The second chief's car, 59-2.
Yes.
We put it out to bid, only got 1 phone call on it, the person never even came and looked at it and bid on it. So I think we should just dispose of it for scrap.
Well,
Or if anybody has any other ideas or knows somebody that might be interested in it.
I happened to stop by here last night to talk to the firemen about something else, and they said, I think it was Bill Vickery told me he has somebody who's interested in it. It's another fire department up north near Syracuse.
Well, John McGuire had reached out to me.
Or maybe it was John McGuire,
Yeah.
because I was talking to both of those guys. Yeah.
But they're aware of the issues, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right, you gonna follow up with him?
Yeah.
Because it's just sitting there. It's got a flat tire now, the
Right.
battery's dead, you
Right.
know?
So we don't have to put it out to bid it all again, right? We just could sell it at that point to them?
As long as you get fair value for it.
Yeah, okay. Well, this is market value is the only
Doesn't
person
sound like-
interested.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like it's too hot on the market.
No, it's not high demand for that particular piece of equipment as is. Okay,
Okay.
talk to John then.
Yeah.
All right, street department, Howie?
Yeah, tree trimming around the stop signs and the roadsides have been going on all month. Mike Wolf suggests that when planting new trees near the intersections, we should consider a 30-foot buffer zone for sight distance. And I told him I would mention that to the tree committee, since we're the ones that would be planting the trees in the right-of-ways. They have been painting the curbs, weather permitting. They have been rebuilding a leaf vacuum housing, and it's about 20 years old, and they've been having problems getting parts due to the fact that the company called Giant Vac is out of business. But they're still working on it, and at this time, he's having the metal fabricated for the leaf chute. And they will have the backhoe service for the fall leaf pickup. They will be servicing them this month. The catch basin repair is moving along. Road repair and blacktop is underway. And we had the successful paving of the South Parsonage Street, as everybody knows. Took 4 days. 3 days.
I have a question on that. Are we going to put a center stripe on that?
That's something we need to discuss.
I like it the way it is,
I got some
but I'm
comment.
not a safety person, so.
I got some comment from Joe Phelan. He said he's been getting some inquiries from parents of school children, and they're wondering if we were going to put a white stripe, especially in the mini park area. There used to be a white stripe there for like the pedestrian side, and if we were going to put a crosswalk striping across from basically where the liquor store is over to the mini park. So that was
Those
some-
crosswalks that we just paint and we don't have the full-blown crosswalk with the, with the little fluorescent.
Well, we did the crosswalks on Knollwood. We can just paint the
Yeah,
lines across the
But they
road.
can be dangerous in a busy area, right?
Well, there's a stop sign right there,
Might be
so
a
it's a
false
logical
sense.
location to have the
Yeah.
crosswalk, because the vehicles have to stop anyway,
That's true.
Yeah, but some people are suggesting we have a crosswalk going from the sidewalk that comes out of the mini park on, then going across South Parsonage Street.
Well, and it's in the middle of the block, and I'm not in favor of that. It's only gonna slow traffic down, especially in the mornings, when there's a high volume of traffic. They have to stop at the stop sign, so let the pedestrians
Yeah, I don't want
cross
to give
there.
the kids a false sense of security if we have that.
Yeah, but I think the white line needs to be there because there's a lot of pedestrian traffic on both sides.
Typically, on village streets, we don't paint center lines
That's right.
or shoulder lines, but there was a shoulder line on
Yeah.
that side because it's such a wide pedestrian lane,
Mm-hmm.
so.
I can tell you from walking there, it feels like there needs to be the white line to,
Well,
because,
can we do the pedestrian line then? And then not have the center line?
yeah.
Yeah, we do whatever we want.
Actually, I feel uncomfortable driving there without knowing where the center line is, and there's a lot of trucks parked there sometimes. And at least maybe a dotted line or something like that coming down. There's also a lot of school buses driving there every day.
Well, I think we're gonna open a can of worms, because then we're gonna be subject to everybody who lives on the street wanting the center line.
Well, no, but I
Yes.
wonder if we leave ourselves open to lawsuits if something ever happens on the school bus there.
I mean, there's plenty of fairly busy roads that don't have that striping. A Berger doesn't have striping in town.
Well, why would you not want a stripe there, Brand?
I don't know, again, I'm not a safety person, but I don't know that the center one really adds any safety.
Yeah, that's the way I feel. I don't know, has there been studies
I
that?
like, now that Heath mentioned
Say
it,
this.
the pedestrian one, now that could be attractive because people can,
The question I will pose, why South Parsonage Street and not every street?
Yeah.
That's the question I will pose.
right, why not South Street?
Is there sidewalks?
Well,
South Street.
I like your pedestrian idea.
Yeah, oh, okay.
What I mean is the
Yeah.
center line. But,
What's the board's desire? Pedestrian line and a crosswalk? You
Yes.
need a motion
Yes.
to approve that, Rich?
If you're going to be a highway
Are we
personnel.
gonna have our guys do it?
Yeah, I think our guys can do it.
You just
They
direct
did the
them to
ones
do
on
it.
Knollwood,
To
right?
the budget.
Right. What's that?
Said it's within your budget, that's all.
Okay. All right.
Is it within Howard's budget?
I'll send Joe Phelan an email that it's going to be taken care of.
I'm just still, I don't know if we were going to discuss, but I'm still concerned about the sidewalk that comes out of the mini park. Because a lot of the kids use that. I go by there, when they're going to school, I go by there, and a lot of kids use that to go that way. And there's not going to be any crosswalk.
And there never has been.
No, I know there never has been, but putting the crosswalk up by they don't walk up to the intersection to go that way to the school.
Because there's a
If they're
path through the mini park.
If they're coming from this way.
The sidewalk there is not for the kids that are going through the mini park. The sidewalk would be for the kids going over to Violet Place, Huntington, Crossmore, or Crowell. It's for that side of the street. It's not meant to direct all of the kids that are going up towards the deli. They have the option of going down to the crosswalk if they want. You know, we could put a crosswalk anywhere on that street, and it doesn't mean you're gonna use it. Look what happens down here at this one. You got a crosswalk and you see somebody 6 feet away from it walking in the middle of the road. You know? Can't legislate intelligence, Howie.
I know, so, but you're saying we're gonna put a crosswalk up by the intersection where the
Yes.
stop sign is? And then they're gonna walk on what side of the road? That's called North
If you
Park?
want, what I can do is I'll reach out to Joe, and I'll say, where do you want the crosswalk located?
Okay.
Okay?
Where do we want the pedestrian lane?
Well, the pedestrian
That's
lane
been
would be on the west side of the road.
West
On the
side?
On the liquor store side.
Okay. Well, then that,
Didn't there used to be a line on both sides?
I don't
No, I don't
believe
think so, no.
Because usually cars park for the mini park on the other side of the road.
But so then they're gonna have to cross if they're going up to high school, and if you put it at the intersection, that's gonna encourage them to walk all the way up on North Park versus that path through the mini park.
well, then the path through the mini park is actually a path through the mini park, so maybe they should,
I mean, that's
Where is
safer
it?
than walking on a road.
well, yeah, that's true.
Well, the other thing is, there is a
It's
cross, coming out of the mini park on the other side by the school, there's a crosswalk there.
That's right.
So they're encouraged to go on that
Oh, okay.
walkway through the
Yeah,
mini park.
that's true.
I'll reach out to Joe. Anything else in streets?
As we just said, the high reflective stop lines have been installed at the intersections on South Parsonage Street. And the big bellies, Mike has noticed, are being filled with household garbage. I just want to mention that the board here, we approved at a special meeting a couple weeks ago, the purchase of a skid steer. And with this skid steer, we're going to get 3 attachments: a stump grinder, a milling
Pavement miller.
and a broom. And with the stump grinder, we're going to start grinding some of the stumps we have. We have about 40 of them throughout the village. So that's going to save us money, as the guys are going to be doing it themselves. And with the miller, what's that thing called?
Well, it's a plane, technically it's called a planer.
Planer. We'll be able to use that. Currently, we hire out to have somebody else do that for us, to fix the potholes and when we're paving areas. So we can do that in-house now also. And one other thing I'd like to mention, another one of the projects we talked about the highway department doing is to clean the outside of this building, because they are in charge of the maintenance of the building, the highway department is. And as I said before, I came here last night to talk to the fire department, because I know they're here on Monday nights. Talk about them letting us use their ladder truck to go up above and spray the side of the building. They agreed to do it. Bill Vickery agreed to man the ladder truck if we so desire, at no cost to us. Otherwise, Mike had got a quote from a man lift for the firehouse. It's $375 per day, and a pickup and delivery charge of $150.
The only thing I would suggest is that what we need to determine is what we're gonna use to clean it,
Right.
all right? And then we need to consider whether that would do any harm to the fire apparatus.
Okay.
mean, if we can have the fire company use the truck, it's gonna save us money.
Well, Bill just was leaving and told Mike when he was here that whenever he's ready to do the building, just let him know.
Yeah, he's available all day, so he's willing to do it.
So we need to find out
Cleaning,
what we need to use on those lentils and the stonework that is all black.
Yeah,
What's gonna clean that up?
okay.
And then find out whether it's gonna be safe to have that fallen, spray or whatever onto the fire truck.
Okay.
Okay?
Howie, did you want to talk about this waste?
Oh, yeah, the other thing is, as we were briefly mentioning before, now that we're out of the garbage business, we have to think of what we're gonna do with the garbage that we generate at our buildings, the village hall, the water, the sewer department, and the highway department. Now, Mike had gotten quotes, everybody has them, right? From Welsh Sanitation, which actually is a state bid. And as Brant had said, currently the water treatment plant, the wastewater plant has a 1.5, right? Yard. And you're sufficient with that? You're happy with that?
Yeah,
I think we have
weekly, yeah.
the same thing.
You had the same thing at the water
That's
department.
right, yeah, that's right.
Apparently, we own those. We own those already. So, with
Why
these,
can't we use our own containers? They won't do that?
they probably will. I don't know if we're gonna get it.
Ours says Welch on it, actually.
Oh, yours says Welch on it? Yeah.
Has anybody asked them? If
No,
they'll
we
if they'll
just-
empty our containers?
We just got these bids for the whole service, and I didn't realize that we owned these containers already.
Why don't you find out?
Maybe they'll just give us a credit for them. They can take them back, put them in.
Ask the question.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we can make approval
Yeah, well,
subject to that.
the point is, we have two bids here. And if you look at it, we can compare the other company here, I don't know if you want me to say the name, has the lowest thing is a two-yarder. 2FL means two-yarder. And that comes.
We're not comparing apples to apples here,
Why not?
because you got 2-yard dumpsters on this one, and here they're 1.5. There's one 2-yard there, and there's a 4-yard. There's a 4-yard here and a 4-yard there.
Okay, but this company does not have anything lower than a two-yarder, so we'd have to use it.
Yeah, the rates are different, but
Well, that you can compare the two-yarder here to this two-yarder, which is, this one's less than this one.
But we only need 1.5.
clearly this is cheaper.
Yeah, that's the point I'm trying to make here. So I make a motion that we, nope,
What I would suggest is that you talk and see if there's any change in the price if we have our own container.
okay.
Or they may say, well, we'll give you a credit for that container and we'll put our container in place. I don't know.
Ask both companies?
No, I would just go to Welsh.
Okay.
It's not a decision we need to be
Yeah.
in a big hurry to make, right?
When,
No, because we still have our garbage truck to get rid of your waste.
Okay,
Okay.
is that it?
Well, yeah.
Well, while we're on that, what are we gonna do with the 2 trucks? Do we decide?
We haven't decided what we're going to do with those 2 trucks, the garbage truck and the recycling truck.
Well, I mean, that's for further discussion once we resolve this
Okay.
container business. In the meantime, well, I mean, the recycling truck, we could dispose of, right?
Yeah.
So,
Do you want to agree to now to put it out to bid?
you want to talk to Mike about it?
Yeah, let me talk to Mike.
He's gonna find some use for it, probably.
No. No, he's not. No, he's not.
Okay.
We have one bid here for, I know this is under trees, but this is also highway department. Mike got these bids from the trees. Does everybody have this one bid? We're still waiting for a couple more, so I'm not gonna take any action on this now. Okay,
Everhart,
just to
right?
let you know. That's it for the highway.
Okay. Planning and zoning. Grant, you got anything?
No, we're going to talk to Francois tomorrow night about the vacancy
Okay.
on the ZBA.
We do have a meeting tomorrow night with the fairgrounds
Yeah.
to try and finalize the zoning draft. My question is, do we want to set a date for a public hearing?
Yeah, I mean, we do, right?
For October?
You have a final draft?
Not yet.
Really ought to wait till you
Yeah.
have a final draft.
Okay.
And then, Rich, you haven't reviewed these two documents yet, have you? These two proposed codes?
The events code, I've got some modifications I was going to send you this week,
Okay.
some proposals to see if you,
And then what about the zoning district language? Have you even seen it yet?
the fairgrounds language?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So we can comment on that
No, you don't get to say anything.
for the events code?
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna,
know I don't get to say anything for the
I'm gonna
fairgrounds.
circulate it, and then you can,
Okay.
You get to say whatever you want, Howie, you just can't vote,
Are we,
I can vote on the events code.
because we know you're conflicted.
will we be able to have a public hearing this year yet on this?
That's
Oh,
my
I
hope.
hope so.
I want to have the public hearing in October if we can.
yeah, I'll have the comments
put
to you
this in
this week,
bed.
and then when you have a final
That's the
draft that
plan.
you want, set a public hearing.
Okay. 47 West Market Street, we talked about. So that, we're good on planning and zoning, I believe. Everybody's got the applications for the zoning enforcement position?
Yeah, I got
I forwarded
Yeah.
everything that I've gotten to them
10
again.
or 15
Okay.
of them.
All right, so everybody needs to go through those and pick out logical candidates, and then we're going to have to schedule interviews. Okay?
Do you want somebody to do that and recommend 2 or 3 candidates, or do you
Well,
want to go to all
I think if you
the whole
go
thing?
through them clearly, there's only about 3 people that stand out.
Okay.
I think we're all going to be in agreement on that. Okay? And speaking of Francois, here he comes. Good evening, sir.
He's back.
We're talking about planning and zoning. Did you come to talk to us?
Blank sheet.
He's an alternate already, isn't he?
Yeah, he resigned.
What's that?
He resigned,
Did he?
yeah, pretty sure.
Oh, I didn't think he had resigned. Okay,
Well, check it.
Okay, so I, okay, good.
okay.
So
All
I
right,
make a
thanks.
motion then? Thanks a lot.
And we'll see you tomorrow night, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Thanks, Francois.
So Francois is indicating we should, well, we'd like to appoint Ward Stanley to the Zoning Board of Appeals.
Make a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to appoint Ward Stanley to the Zoning Board of Appeals. He's experienced and has done, and resigned before for health reasons, but he's feeling strong enough to come back and do it, so.
Is there a second?
I second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted. Police and court. Everybody has the incident reports. Any questions? Relatively calm week, fair week. Wasn't a whole lot of problems. You know, the usual minor fender bender here and there. But it was a pretty good week. Dog report for the month of July. There were some stray dogs running around. No charges were made. Also some barking dogs reported, but nobody pressed charges. Roger says that the hot weather and open windows made people a little cranky. The village has been very busy lately, and I haven't seen a lot of violations. People have been good about using the bags we have around the village also. Committee reports, trees, Howie.
Okay. At our tree meeting last week, tree commission meeting, we have a few requests for trees to be removed here. We have at 41 Mill Street, the Platt residence. The commission recommends that the village board approve the removal of the tree as soon as possible. There's one on 1 Orchard Street. We still have to determine if that's in the right of way. As it's on the corner, we're trying to figure out, maybe you can help me, Jim. Go there with me tomorrow if you have time.
What time?
Whenever you can.
I'm very busy. How about, no, Friday morning, you gotta go to Poughkeepsie, right?
Third, yeah.
What time do you have to leave to go to Poughkeepsie Friday morning?
To be there at 9.
All right, let's talk about it after
Okay,
the
we'll
meeting.
talk. There's some question as whether this is in the right of way. But the board recommends that we do take it down if it is in the right of way.
And which one is that?
This is on 1 Orchard Street. It's,
Closer?
yeah, it's the intersection. We have to measure from the intersection.
Okay.
The board recommends that the pruning be done at 21 South Street by S&S. Then there's also some other dead trees that I already given Mike the lists of them throughout the village. And those are the ones he's getting estimates on taken down.
All right, you got my email about that public hearing, right? You check your email on, because I got these reports, you sent them over the weekend, and I looked at them yesterday. They have, this is actually a mistake in here. They have public hearing on the hospital. The public hearing will be held on Tuesday, 9/17. Tuesday, 9/17 is the public hearing for the Thompson Mazzarella Park.
Okay.
All right, on the 19th is the ZBA for the hospital,
Okay.
public hearing. I sent an email out so that all the people on the tree commission were aware.
Okay.
I didn't
I
want them to show up here the 17th
Right, right,
about the hospital, and it's not even gonna be, it's not on the agenda. The
right,
only thing on the 17th is the Thompson Mazzarella Park.
right, okay.
Okay?
I want to commend you, your group there for trimming all the trees, and there's Carolina and Tremper and Stortini.
Oh, yeah.
Did a nice job there.
Yeah, they did.
Thank you. And they've been doing a lot of trimming on Route 9 here, too, from Astor Drive down. There was, somebody sent us an email. I mean, Astor Drive along Montgomery Street down to Route 9, yeah.
Anything else?
No, so I make a motion that we accept the takedown as mentioned? Mainly, there's only one here.
That's the one on Platt?
Yeah.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Discussion?
It's on 41 Mill Street. The person's name is Platt.
Oh, okay.
That confused me.
Yeah.
I saw Platt real quick. I
Yeah,
jumped to
yeah.
conclusions. Okay, is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So voted.
Oh, one more thing with the tree commission.
No, that's it.
Oh, you want me to say this in other business then? I'll wait for other business. We're having our annual fall planting on November 2nd. Everybody's welcome, Saturday morning, 9 o'clock. We will be meeting on Mulberry Street. I don't have the address right here, but we'll let you know next month.
Okay.
And also, this weekend at the farmer's market, we'll have a little booth there, just telling people what we do on the tree commission. So please come and join us. That's it.
Okay. Website, anybody got anything? Finance and controls?
I'd just like to say that Lisa and I talked about cash handling practices, and I thought I would go to the department heads first before I say what our ideas were, like talk to Mike and talk to Tom and see if, as a courtesy, just to see if some of these things would be okay, appropriate to them, which I assume, but,
Okay.
so I'll just report back to you.
All right, sounds good. Energy consumption and savings.
We just
You already
that.
did that, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, you jumped to other business? You went over other business?
That's energy consumption and savings is other business. That's where we're at now.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay. So I have here, this is, we have to adopt a resolution, and this resolution basically says that the village of Rhinbeck is going to authorize Marshall and Sterling, is it, Lisa? To be the administrator of the
CDPHP.
CDPHP, to be the administrator of the HRA for the employees. I'll make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
That's just a formality, we're already using them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's just giving them we have the HRA account set up. They've got the information, so anytime that the member goes in and uses their card for the HRA, they are given the option. They go in and they take the money out. So it's CDPHP that's asking for that.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So voted. Okay. Does anybody have any other business?
We've been approached by AT&T Wireless for yet another lease amendment to our cellular tower. They do want to put the generator and put it on a generator pad, so there would be additional lease space of 8 feet by 12 feet out there. And it would be a Generac generator. I got the spec sheets on it. And the only concern, well, you and I have talked about this before, there might be generator fatigue around here because when we run out of power, they're
It's gonna
all
be
over.
3.
Yeah, in the town hall too. So, I don't know if there's, I can research this and see how quiet they are,
Well,
but
they don't want to use the building to put it interior?
they can't use the shelter. You know, unless we could say, if we gave them the shelter just for the generator and said, yeah.
How much money are they offering us?
$372.
$372 a month?
Yeah, but we have to split it with Crown Castle.
Do they have a generator now?
They have some kind of generator.
They got a battery backup.
Battery backup, yeah. I mean, that's what I meant, yeah. So, this might be
Can
a
they-
post-Sandy, you know, thing for their tower portfolio that they're worried about.
Is there any way they can come off of the generators we have here?
No, we don't want them using ours.
No.
We can charge them.
How big is the generator itself? You use an 8 by 12 pad?
Yeah, see, it actually sits on top of the fuel tank and
Oh,
50 kilowatt.
so it needs a lot of clearance.
Yeah, it's kind of tall. It's in
You
the
wanna
cabinet. It's
You want
like
to
inside-
research it a little more, Brent?
Need this?
Yeah, I'll research it a little more.
All right.
Unless you guys are willing to, you know, I'll research it a little more.
Okay. Any other business?
What is this here? This here?
That's correspondence.
Oh, this.
The DAR resolution, that's
Yeah,
correspondence?
That comes under correspondence.
Okay.
This also?
Santa Claus?
Santa Claus?
Yep. No other business?
No.
Okay. And we're going to move on to correspondence. Okay. We had received a letter August 8th, and it was from Ruth Moore, Executive Director of Cornell Cooperative Extension. And they're asking us, it's kind of like a ceremonial resolution, I guess. Basically, it says on behalf of, and then it would be us, I'm writing this letter to indicate our strong support of the proposal being submitted by Cornell Cooperative Extension, Dutchess County, in partnership with the County of Dutchess and other partners to develop a comprehensive sustainability plan to address organics diversion, waste reduction, energy savings, and develop a feasibility study for municipal anaerobic digestion in the county through the New York State Energy Research and Development Authority Cleaner, Greener Communities Program Phase 2, Implementation Grants Category 2 through the Consolidated Funding Application. So they're looking for us to endorse this resolution. It's the board's pleasure.
I think this was brought up by Jeff Romano. Is this the same thing?
Jeff sent it to us.
Yeah, okay. I agree with everything it says here, but I don't know if they're really asking for us to participate in.
No, they're not asking us to participate. They're asking
Well-
us to pass a resolution, basically, that we endorse what they're doing. They're not asking us to do anything other than endorse it.
Okay, then down the line, maybe they'll be asking us for specific participation, because there's some kind of a biomass project that this goes along with.
Right. It calls for an increase in organics diversion.
All this letter is the Village of Rhinbeck strongly supporting this idea.
It's
Doesn't
asking
commit
us to write this
us
letter,
to
right?
doing anything.
It's asking us to write a letter.
Yeah, basically, this is the letter.
This is the letter, and we put our name in here.
We fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
What's the board's pleasure? If you want to table it, we can table it. You can think about it some more.
Did you speak to Ruth Moore? 'Cause
No.
should we talk to her?
I don't know why. I mean, basically, they're asking us to support this idea.
I'll go along with it if you guys are
If
interested.
you,
I mean,
if you want to talk to her,
I
that's
support
fine.
the idea.
we can comply with some of these ideas somewhere. You know, are we gonna give up our mulch for the biomass, you know, probably not. You know what I mean? Depends on what they're gonna ask of us, I guess. Are we gonna give up
You
our
want to, why don't you
waste?
talk to her?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, next one is from the Daughters of the American Revolution. Dear Village of Rhinebeck Mayor Reardon, General Richard Montgomery D. Our house was a wedding gift from Judge Henry Beekman, Rhinebeck's patentee, to his granddaughter Janet Livingston on the occasion of her marriage to General Richard Montgomery. It is the oldest house in the Village of Rhinebeck, in addition to being on the National Register of Historic Places. It also is listed as a site on the New York State Revolutionary War Heritage Trail. They are asking us to proclaim the week of September 17th through the 23rd, 2013 as Constitution Week. What's the board's pleasure?
Absolutely.
Would somebody make a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to declare September 17th through 23rd as being Constitution Week in the Village of Rhinebeck.
I say.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So voted. Received August 16th, request from Santa Claus to use this room for their annual children's workshop. They've done this over the years.
I make a motion, we allow Santa Claus to use this room.
Second the motion.
What we need to do, and this is something I can express to them, is the same parameters that we've had in the past, that they're responsible for the cleanup of the room, leave it as you found it. Okay? So, you made a motion?
Yes.
I second it.
Hines seconded it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So voted. We had gotten a letter from, well, this was actually out of the Freeman. I don't know if everybody had seen it, but it was, Controller DiNapoli was announcing that we can expect in 2014 and 15 to see a lowering of the employer contributions in the pension system, which is good news. However, the bad news is that next year we're facing a 1.66 tax cap because it's tied to inflation. So we won't be operating at 2% next year. We'll be operating at 1.66 for the tax cap. So that's bad news. Had received a letter from John McDonald. John is a former president of NICOM, and he served as the city of Cohoes mayor. And he is asking us to support an effort that has been very important to him over the past several years. It's centered around character education with a focus on the month of October, which is Anti-Bullying Month. Schools and communities are recognizing the month of October as Anti-Bullying Awareness Month, and as co-chair of the Academy for Character Education at Sage Colleges, I am asking for your assistance in getting the message out. Our mission is to spread awareness of the pressures every student feels when it comes to bullying and its impact on our children, our schools, and our communities. I am asking that your respective city or village adopt a resolution or proclamation recognizing the month of October as Anti-Bullying Awareness Month. A sample resolution is attached for your convenience. What's the board's pleasure? Speak.
I'm for that. I'm for that.
Yeah,
Make a motion.
Yeah.
Make a motion to recognize October 2013 as Anti-Bullying Awareness Month.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So voted.
Can you sign that? Can you sign that?
They needed to make the spot for a little bit smaller, didn't they? Need a microscope and then to read the print.
Thank you.
Okay, and then we had received on September 6th, I believe it was, it's kind of blurry. This is from the New York State Department of Public Service. They want us to help them in raising awareness of the Lifeline Discount Telephone Service Program and encouraging eligible consumers to enroll. Lifeline Discount Telephone Service is a program designed to make basic telephone service more affordable for income-eligible consumers. So that's just to bring to people's attention, and the information will be available downstairs with Lisa. Anybody have any other correspondence?
As far as the Center Class scheme that was given to us, are we going to look at this later?
We're not going to take any action on that yet, simply because I haven't had a meeting with them to discuss what they have proposed in there, and some of their proposals are over and above what we've done in the past, so I need to have a discussion with them. I did see an email come from Pat Sexton today suggesting a meeting maybe next week, so I have to respond to her.
Okay,
So we can act on it next month.
okay.
Heinz, water and sewer adjustments.
Okay, we revamped some of the water and sewer adjustments to make it more readable. As far as the water adjustment is concerned, we had 13 new owners who paid $25 each. We had tapping fees, 18 of them, 17 from the gardens, as I noticed before. We had end of final bills, 15 of them. The final bills is if somebody sells the house and settles the water bills or the sewer bills for that matter. There are a couple of adjustments. One of them with the central school system. I had meetings with them, and I told them that we will not be able to adjust them anymore in the future. That they have to get we promised to get the bills in on time, which they usually get, and they promised they will process them so we don't have these adjustments anymore. So this is the last one. Unfortunately, it has been inverted here. So it's a $660 bill, and the adjustment was $66, yeah, and the difference actually, what gets billed is $600. So we had one in past months. We had a lot of problems with when we changed meters and so on, and we had where we got problems with the software. We had fixed this, but this is one remaining one here where we have got the wrong reading, and we had to make a $90 adjustment on that. And but the problem has been corrected at this point. The last one is the payment was applied to the wrong account. Instead of payment was applied to the sewer account instead of the water account.
Make a motion.
So I make a motion to accept the water adjustments as described in this, and the sewer adjustment, I assume, right, Brent?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine are a little different, but
Well,
should I just describe mine too, or?
Go ahead.
My tappings fees are, and some of my final bills would jibe with his, but, so for numbers, 4010, account numbers 40103S through 40117S, including account 529S, a $750 tapping fee. 4 of those also had final bills. And then I have a final bill for 2132-8S for $22.40. And then I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 new owners. Accounts numbers 40099S, 40108S, 40025S, 21364S, 40112S, 21328S, 40107S, 21187S, and 40102S, 40094S, and 40025S. That's basically it.
do we have to enumerate all of these
I don't
accounts?
know.
No,
Okay.
Okay.
not necessary. All you have to do is,
Refer
we're
to
doing
this.
adjustments,
Right.
so all you have to do is the adjustments. So you don't have to mention anything about new owners, you don't have to do tapping fees, that type of stuff. So you made a motion on your water,
Order, right.
all right? And then we'll have to have the sewer adjustment included in that, so you need to make the motion on that.
So I'd like to make a motion to include the sewer adjustments in that.
Okay.
Was that one motion including both of them?
Motion to approve the water and sewer adjustment.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So voted.
I have one item that I want to discuss about adjustments here. In the 28th of May minutes, which we have not approved yet, there is a sentence in there that says adjustments should be done after the board approval, not before. The policy needs to be updated. Now, the reporting is accurate of that, and I believe you made that point. What is going to be a difficult thing to do is to actually do this, because
I'll give you the answer to it, okay? The board needs to approve the adjustments. You can authorize the adjustments,
okay,
but the board has to approve them. And what hasn't been happening in the past when the controller's office was here was there was no the adjustments were being made and no trustee was approving them. And some of them didn't make it to the board level and be approved either.
Right.
Okay? So you can authorize Pat to go ahead and
Okay.
do them, but we got to make sure that every one that's adjusted has your approval.
Approval.
You need to
Yeah.
sign off on it.
okay.
And then it needs to come to the board and be approved also.
Because we, the billing goes out almost 6 months, 6 weeks before
Yeah.
we approve it here.
Yep. And that's, when they submit their report,
Good.
their final analysis to us, that's going to be in there. Okay? Is that it?
Well,
Well, what?
I wanted to just, are we done with Heinz, right?
Yes.
What do you got?
I got this email that we all got.
That's other business.
So we wait till next
What are
month?
you doing? We're talking about water and sewer adjustments.
Well, you said that was it.
What do you got?
Okay. This was sent to Lisa on August 25th, and it was forwarded to all of us from Lori McCarthy on 21 Kramer Road. She's asking, can a sign be posted at the top of the street that advises drivers that Kramer is not a through street to cut down on the speeding? So my question is,
It's speed enforcement.
do we have to create a
The
law?
signs, the
Do we
sign,
want-
no, the sign's not a through street is not going to prevent people from speeding. If it's a speed issue, it's speed enforcement.
So get the policeman there.
Exactly.
Okay. Done.
While we're on the topic, in our neighborhood, there's a lot of kids running around because we have good quality asphalt. And so the gateways, it's Stortini and Will Tremper. They don't have like the slow children sign, get the kid with the knickers kind of slow down kind of thing.
What color knickers?
What color
Do you
knickers?
still have those signs? Can we put two of the, one at each gateway for,
Yeah, we had, where did we put those signs that had the heart on it? Over
By
by
the
the school
school,
somewhere,
yeah,
right?
North Park Road, yeah.
Please drive slowly, we love our children, had the red heart on it.
Yeah.
We'll do a few of them.
We actually have about 36 little kids.
I know, I saw that on
Yeah.
Sunday, I was over there.
You got a bunch of grandkids over there, huh?
Right.
thanks, I appreciate that.
Okay. Minutes approval. April 12th was the public hearing for the budget.
And tax.
Any additions, omissions, or corrections? I had gone over a few minor typos with Lisa on it. Motion to approve?
I make a motion we approve as submitted?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So voted. May 14th board meeting. Again, there was a couple typos. Motion to approve?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So voted. And May 28th, and again, a couple of minor typos.
Now, do we want to make a change to this here? Because it says adjustments should be done after the board approval.
It'll be
And
made.
that needs to be done
All right.
before, actually.
So where are
Won't
we
that
here?
be
May
made?
This is the 28th.
May 28th.
8th on the,
That's right under trustee Sauer.
That should be made in these minutes, though, because it wasn't addressed at that time, so it'll be addressed in this minutes.
Say again?
I can't change the minutes from that night. and-
Those aren't approved, so they're not minutes yet. They're just drafts.
Right, but I can add what you've
We
decided
can
here.
amend them.
Okay,
We would have to vote to amend them,
okay.
but they're not approved minutes yet. Okay, so let me get to the right spot here.
says adjustments. It's 221 here. No, this is the wrong side. This is the 28th.
Why don't we just add them, like Lisa said?
Right here,
till tonight?
okay, I got it. All right, so I'm going to make a motion to amend the minutes to read that water and sewer adjustments should be approved by the liaison and then submitted for approval to the board at their next meeting. You got that, Lisa?
Yep.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
If it's not going into practice until after tonight, then why are we amending the minutes from, because that's actually what was said.
Yeah, you
at
can't
that
say,
time.
that's what I'm saying. If you're saying amend approval of board at the next meeting, we're a couple meetings beyond.
Correct, but we're correcting these minutes,
28th.
Okay,
okay?
I got it.
We're amending these minutes to reflect that this is what our policy is,
I got it.
okay? All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So voted. Vouchers are downstairs to be signed. We need to, I need a motion to go to executive session for personnel matters.
I make a motion to go to executive session for personnel matters.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So voted. Okay? Okay, I need a motion to return to regular session, please. Or motion, actually, motion to adjourn the executive session.
Second. move.
So moved.
All right,
Second.
Howie, and then Hines on the second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So voted. I need a motion to return to regular session.
I make a motion we return to regular session?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted. Okay. Hines, go ahead.
I want to make a motion to expend $4,450 to do some selective fixing of asbestos areas that we have in the water plant and in the building here.
Is there a second?
Well, you saw 3 quotes.
I had 3
It was
quotes.
within the procurement policy. And,
Yeah.
Second.
Any discussion?
I have a question. When you're talking about demolishing, removing the tank, obviously that does not include removal.
I'm sorry?
No.
You have a separate quote for demolishing and removing the tank, so they're gonna do,
The option we're approving here is 1 and 5.
right,
So those two items come to $4,450. If we were to choose to do the other issues, wrap tank, remove and dispose,
Right.
and demolish the tank, then you gotta add all of those high figures in.
Yeah, but
okay, yeah, that's my question, so when, if they're gonna remove the tank, that
They're
doesn't
not.
include the
They're not.
stuff on it?
No, no, no,
They're
no, no.
not.
If,
There's a price to demolish and
that.
remove the tank, and there's a price to remove
Right.
and dispose of the asbestos. Those are separate figures. So you would have to add this number, this
so they have
number.
to dispose of the
together.
asbestos first before they would remove the
Yes,
tank?
absolutely.
Yeah,
And that's
and that's why the encapsulation and the, is the better way to go. Because you're talking
Well,
46, and
What-
another $6,000 roughly.
And
it doesn't seem right that you pay them to encapsulate it and then pay them to
No.
cut it up and take it apart.
And you have to have monitors here.
I
We're gonna
understand what
cap-
you're saying, but the quote as it looks.
Yeah.
Okay, but are you talking about BSB?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
I'm asking a
look,
question.
Well,
demolition,
this is what we are voting on,
I know, but
right here.
This one and this one.
we understand that part, but can you look at this, Heinz?
The reason that is lower, the reason,
If they encapsulated, it would be that much. If they wrapped the tank, it would be that much. If they remove the asbestos and dispose of it, they would charge that much. Then they would demolish and remove the tank for that much.
Okay.
So you
So you
gotta
can't
add,
have remove and demolish on
you
its
can't
own.
have encapsulate and remove and demolish.
you have to,
The option is either to encapsulate it, or to remove the asbestos and dispose of it, and
then
destroy the
remove
tank.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
Everybody understands?
Mhm.
Okay. So we have the motion and the second. Any further discussion?
Is it all gonna come out of the water budget?
yeah.
No, he's gonna take it out of yours.
So, 'cause you can get your meter
The
here.
the heating system, well, the meter, that's all water related.
Right.
The heating system
Got
is
it.
kind of incidental.
Okay, incidental.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Is, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So voted. Any other business? Need a motion to adjourn, please.
Motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So voted. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, you just said that this is